Hey guys, this is Bryan at Status Skateshop in Carlsbad, California. I'm so excited to be reaching all the way out to Slovakia, talking to the amazing team of Draho and Eva behind that awesome surf skate company, Soulboardiy. Come on inside and join me.
Okay,
Oh,
so we
so
are
good.
there.
Hi,
Draho and
Bryan.
Eva, how are you
Hi.
both?
Hello, we are good. We are good.
It's so good to see you both.
Okay.
Yeah, finally seeing you, Bryan, after so many emails, right?
I know it's been wild, but what a treat, and what a gorgeous backdrop there with all the
Yeah.
decks on the wall. That's amazing. This is so exciting for me, really exciting for me to actually get to meet and speak with both of you. I was telling Eva how, first impressions are so important. And my first impression of you, Draho, and Soulboardiy is that crazy video you have on your website. And
Yes.
I hope to include this video in the edit so people can see it right there. But it is uh, it's a sketchy spot. I mean, it's a gorgeous spot. It's a great spot for a video,
Yes.
but it's brick, it's cobblestone. There are gaps. You guys are flying. Um, I mean, it is just a joy to watch. You just want to say, I just want to get on a plane and go surf skating with those guys. This is awesome. Do you remember that day? Do you remember recording that video?
Yes, yes, of course. We recorded just a few videos, so I can remember all of them, and it's in the old part of our city.
Yes.
And it was with a friend of us, and the friend that is riding with me. It was also a member, a founding member of the Soulboard at the beginning. You know that in that time it was much more about riding snow surfs. Actually, it was not
Ah,
about surf skate at all. So
yeah.
it was about like planks for snow, and it was a friend of mine, and it was. Shoot it with another friend of us with the rollerblades and a small I think it was like with the old GoPro or something like that, and we just it was like spontaneous action, and we just rode
Huh.
this brick alley there, and actually I like the video as well, so I think we should do a remake, you know, like now with the video with the right equipment and with the right boards, and you know, now we know how to do it actually.
I think actually it was the goal, right, of the video to show how crazy our boards can be, or how rideable they are, or
Yes,
or did
yes.
you want to show shark views, or what was the
Yeah,
purpose?
I'm not sure. We just wanted to shoot just to shoot something because we are so
As crazy as possible.
yeah, you know, we are so lame with the videos and with the whole
Oh,
promotion and with everything. So it was just like we should do something, and we did this one, and yeah,
It
yeah.
worked.
it worked.
It really worked. It's not necessarily technical, although I can tell towards the end you successfully navigated a gap that you didn't think you were going to, because you
Yeah,
were
yes,
very happy, very happy you made
yes.
it across that gap.
Yes,
But
actually, this the writing that you see on the video is something that I like the most. Actually, you know, I originally came from a classic street skating,
ah,
but we never had a skate park, we never had a bowl, we never had a ramp, nothing. It was just like it was a lot of cruising. Actually, it was a lot of like riding skateboards, and
yes.
and then afterwards I wrote a lot of snowboard, a lot of free ride, and then I came to these bindingless snow surf boards and riding those things, and you know, for me it was like with my age it was more and more about really riding the board, and
Yeah.
and, and I also like this type of surf skating. For me, kind of free riding, you know, kind of riding from A to B to serve the city, and I also like to ride fast somehow. So that's
It was
that's it.
it was great. It reminded me a little bit of the of some of the old skateboard parts in the old skateboard movies, and you know you see people doing technical tricks, but then you get somebody just out there riding for fun, and it's always
Yes.
the fun riding that just puts the smile on your face. I also think you either intentionally or non-intentionally captured this mantra or ethos of soulboarding. So I know you talk about soulboarding as a concept, something that does exist on the board. And again, I think it was exuding from you that day on the board, but maybe even carries over into things outside the skateboard. Can you talk about that idea of soulboarding and maybe even how that came to be inside of the name of the company?
Uh, yes, actually, you're right with the video. When I look at the video, I see me happy. You know, like I see me like free and happy, and that's it. The whole essence of soulboarding, the whole idea of it is it's actually not about any trick or you know extreme riding on or pushing the boundaries or whatever. It's more about the certain inner state. You know, like when you're riding, and you're riding a line, then you get deeper and deeper in certain clear state of mind or state of being for me, where everything disappears. Everything what you don't need disappears, except you know the here and now, actually, and that's the essence of soulboarding for us. So it doesn't matter if you ride surf skate or snowboard or whatever you're riding, or maybe not riding anything, or just gliding somewhere on a you know icy spot in the winter. What you get in this moment is that's
Beautiful.
that's crucial. That's a sense of soulboarding actually, and what we like, how we like to see it is that it shouldn't stay there. You know, it shouldn't stay only with the riding experience. This you know, like this essence should be transferred to everyday life in the best way. So that's the essence. And when you picked up the video, and I saw the video again after a very long time,
Yeah.
I really saw that in my face. Actually, I'm happy as a kid when I'm riding,
Yeah.
and I think I should ride more in the next days and weeks and years maybe.
I think
Well,
the camera, he just turns, right? Or something. He made some kind of trick or something. In
Yes, actually the video is also maybe so good because the cameraman had a lot of issues, you know, like
No, I mean, he had fun.
yeah, also he had fun, but there was a lot of challenges, you know. He was riding backwards with the camera, and actually we maybe rode 2 or 3 lines, and that was it. You know, and it was not like prepared, and you know there is a gap and there is a stone or whatever. It was like just go and we'll see what happened.
no, that's great, and I love this idea of almost practicing this mantra, practicing this philosophy on the board or on whatever mechanism it is, and then bringing that into the day-to-day life as well. I think that's very inspirational and kind of a better way to get through our day, whether it's on a board or at a computer or dealing with family or doing whatever we need to do. So
Yes, yes, and that's also so nice with the idea with the board, because the board is just a tool, and for me it's a really extremely fast functional tool to get in there. you know, because you have the, when you just ride something, you have the a little bit of danger there, you have the speed, you know, and then a little bit of adrenaline coming to your blood, and it's like instant way. It's like a tool that works instantly, and that's the beauty of it. So we see our boards like a tools. We are creating like tools to get in there, to experience the inner state, the soulboarding. So,
That's awesome. Now, you were, as you said, you had experience with traditional skateboards, you had experience with snowboarding, you started working on a bindingless snow skate concept. So at some point, you hop on a surf skate, somebody's surf skate, and you must think, oh, this is pretty good. I like this. This is starting to give me that feeling of the mountain, but now I don't need to be on the snow. I've got the potential here, but something must have told you, I think I can do a better deck. I mean, there thousands and thousands of people have stepped on surf skates and had a great time and never stepped off the deck saying, you know, I think I could build a better deck. What was that? What was that realization? What was the thinking that there was potential opportunity in, you know, what could easily be just misunderstood as a component of the surf skate system, something that was, just use a regular deck, you'll be fine.
you know, it's
You
like,
know, it's just him. He does this, and that's this pioneer mind or something like that. You know, like
Yes.
it's not only in surfskate world.
yeah, to be honest, we can talk about a passion or stuff like that, but I maybe in this case I would use the exactly like obsessed, or you know, like I'm
Like obsession.
Obsession. I'm just when I'm obsessed with something, I just can't stop somehow. And for me, actually, when I look at the background, you know, I came from the early days when I was a small boy. There were like a deep communist regime in the Slovakia, in the Czechoslovakia, you know. So and I saw a skateboard somewhere in the TV, and I just knew I have to get it. I have to ride the skateboard, but it was no chance to get a skateboard. Not like you can't buy it, you can't even see it anywhere. So I just spent like days and days, you know, with a VCR remote control in the hand for the TV to wait for the moment where I can see somewhere a picture of or a small, you know, like shot of a skateboard, so I can see how it looked like. And then I try to recreate it. I try to build my own, you know. I took an old roller ski, how do you call it? Not really rollerblade, like
roller skate.
Yes, I took it. I just take the front and the rear wheels and took some old board and cut it out and made my first skateboard. It was maybe I was 7 or 8 years old.
Wow.
In that time, and I did it for many years. Then I saw a snowboard and I tried to create a snowboard and you know to get somewhere in material or whatever to build it. But it's the mentality, you know, from that time. There was nothing you can really buy, so you have to figure it out. You have to build it yourself, or you have to, you know, like create it, steal it, or find it somewhere. You know,
Yeah.
you have to find.
You use the lean, the chair lean or something for one skateboard, right?
Yes. I also, you know, we have this.
Like a school or something.
Like a school seat, you know, like school chairs,
Yes.
and they had like a lean for your back, and it was like a rounded piece of plywood. And I knew I need this piece of plywood, so I waited maybe for 2 years till the chance was there to you know, like to
Get the
to
chair.
get the chair, to
With
get
just a nice rocker,
yes, yes, and
in the.
then I saw it to half and built the first skateboard. It was like Bandit. I have a tail and nose. You know, it was maybe like 2 years project, and it was like a first few hours. I have it on the street, and a friend of mine came there, and I want to try it and break the nose of it. You know, after 2 years of waiting. So you know that this kind of mentality I was growing in. You know, so when you try to understand how came that I wanted to build my own deck, you know, you just need to combine my obsession to make it better or different than it is,
Yes, yes.
and this mentality in the background.
Wait,
I think.
even
Sorry, if I can add something,
yes.
I don't know if he knows that, but I would say that a very important part of this whole process, because you asked about the surfskate, right? Not about the very beginnings, but I would still say that important part of Draho's character or this mentality that he has is that he doesn't care actually. So if he gets something that he doesn't believe is good, and then thousands of people would say this is really good, you know, and he would say no, it's not. Look, this doesn't work. And this is what makes the Soulboardiy actually. I don't want to say so special, but you know what I mean. That this is the value that he added to the surf skating. That he doesn't believe that what's done or the surf skate that we already have are like the final shape
Final
and
stage
final,
is good enough.
Yes.
like, you know, he's questioning if this is good enough, and and he knows how the usual surf skates are made, so he believes that it's just easy, but they can be better. So we try to make them not so easy, but but we believe that they are better like this.
Especially back then, when you built your very first prototype Surfskate deck, you have so many variables just in choosing the veneers. How many veneers? What wood? What thickness? What, you know, the cross cut, the long cut. Hello. Hi. It's very technical, very non-intuitive. How did you go about that process? You choose too few veneers, it's gonna break easily. You choose too many, it's gonna be too heavy and thick. What was
It's
that
okay.
process like early on of doing those first prototypes?
To understand the process, we are here in Eastern Europe, and the possibilities to build a skateboard, you know, to build a press or to make a mold, to buy a hard maple veneer, it's almost impossible. It was almost impossible back in the days. Now it's a little bit better, but it was not an option that I tried to build a skateboard like normal, like usual. I have to figure out some kind of different way. And to be honest, I wanted to build them so different, so special, and I had no clue about construction or about composites or whatever. I had really no idea. So the first prototypes and ideas were like ridiculous. From the today's point of view, it was absolutely ridiculous. It was like, you know, we have the name Soulboardiy, and at the end, it's like DIY.
Yes.
In the name, and it's something like, it was really like a program. It was like essential, because I started to press the snow surf boards, like those powder boards, and it was the only solution was to take like a thin plywood and put the 2-3 sheets of plywood together. and that was the construction. And then I wanted to make a skateboard, so I did the same. Before it was like made out of different parts, cut out and put together with some edges and 3D. And it was like spectacular but stupid. That could not really work. It was like actually really ridiculous when I look at it from this point of view. But it was the step and the next step and the next step, and I just it took years until I figured it out. Actually, it took years, but I stayed true to this kind of different construction, because it was not possible to build it right. To build it right, you know, like to buy veneers and put them together and press them together. So that is what I'm actually doing. Last 10 years, I just break my head to figure out how to build this unusual construction out of material that is available.
Yeah, and at some point, I guess in at least developing the Revolution construction, you must have this insight that if you can get a torsional flexibility where the front end of the board can turn independent of the back end, and you can get some rebound. So once you're actually starting that motion, your deck construction is going to contribute to your next turn. At some point, you must have this insight that this could work well with surf skate trucks. This could enhance the surf skating experience. I'm presuming that's when you start realizing you might need different materials. You might need things like fiberglass, other relatively high-tech components beyond just the veneers, just the wood fibers. Did that come about all at once? What was the torsional insight that torsion is a real breakthrough?
I think you should speak about human body, and that the human body is actually in the center of the
yes. But at the most beginning of the whole torsional flex, to be honest, I just create those DIY boards, and I was not able to build it without the flex. I was just thinking about the shape, and I wanted to, I have some ideas how the board should be shaped, and some parts just came out like that. And one of the aspects was the torsional flex, and when I tried the board, it was clear that this is a big thing, like it's working. So I just continued to develop how to make the flex more controllable, how to make it faster, the whole rebound fast, how to make the whole flex like everlasting and stuff like that. And that was then the next steps of the evolution was more about to get the best out of this natural flex that is there. And I come from a professional sport. I was a tennis coach and sport coach for many years, and I worked a lot with the human body and biomechanics and all the muscle chains and stuff like that. And I just used more and more of this knowledge to create the board that is alive, in this case, that rides with you. For me, was when you look at the skateboard, it's like the skateboard it's just a thing, and you are riding the thing. But I wanted to do something that is like a part of you. There was the question: how would the board look like and work like if it's a creation of Mother Nature, like a part of your body? How would the board work? Would it be stiff? I don't think so. And more and more I ride the board, and I was fascinated by surf skate and all the moves and the pumping ability. It was the main hit for me. I just follow this path. I just follow the moves that are natural there and try to play like a mother nature designer and build the best like parts to ride with, to play with.
It makes so much sense too, because you do see from a specification standpoint this relatively big difference between the construction of the Revolution to the construction of the CarbonyX, and that in a way the CarbonyX is so simple. It's unbelievable in a way that this X shape is going to work. I mean, it does. In retrospect, it feels like, oh yeah, that would give you the independence. That would give you that the rebound, and yeah, it comes together in the center. But at the same time, it feels like that so easily could have just been, nope. It just automatically warps the board in a wonky way, does something completely non-intuitive. But you must have been thrilled when you realized that, you know what, if I do this do you call it the CarbonyX? Am I pronouncing it correctly?
We call it like CarbonyX because it's like a carbon X, like
yes.
so yes, it is actually the first series that we made, Revolution, was not completely made here in our house. We didn't have the possibility and the technology to build something like that. So we team up with a company in Poland, with the alternative longboards, and we create the first proper mold and the first series we created there, and it was like kind of right technology for longboards. It was like the vertical laminated core and the fiberglass on top, and everything was like it should be for a longboard construction. And then I ride those boards. The shape was great, but somehow it feels not. It feel not alive enough. It was like too stiff to dance. It's comfortable. You can. It's a good board, but I just wished more dynamic. I was fascinated by pumping, and I wanted more dynamic. I wanted just to do more. So we started to create the whole production here in our house, in our basement actually. And I just wanted to find out how to enhance those those properties, and the X with the carbon. It's also I actually hate fiberglass. I don't want to work with this material at all. So I was experimenting with all different materials, like a natural fibers, like a flax or hemp fibers, like high-end fabrics from like from this composite world, and try to replace the glass, because we are working here. I have children here, and I don't want to have this material. I don't want to sand it. I don't want to do anything actually with this material. So it was again this material. No, we have to find out a different way. And the X actually, I like the feel of wood. I like the wood has like certain feel, certain flex, certain properties, and I liked it. But when you put a fiberglass on top and bottom, you just close the wood, you just close the properties, and you feel the fiberglass on top and bottom. So you just more or less you are riding and experiencing the fiberglass sheets on top and bottom. And for me, fiberglass was not the feel I wanted to have. So I just wanted to replace the fiberglass with something that gives me this high rebound speed and these everlasting flags and everything. And then we came across the carbon and started to experimenting with it, and that's it. So that was the evolution.
Well, and the feedback you got once you had the CarbonyX construction, you think of, first of all the customers Eva was working with worldwide, I'm sure, giving you positive feedback, but you also had, significant partnerships come along with people that had been in Surfskate for a while. So you had Curveboard come along and want to do a partnership with you. Steve from Surfskate Love, who's a friend of mine and has ridden every surf skate on the planet, decides that he'd like to partner with you guys for his own branded deck. I know you did some work with the folks at Grasp, so you're getting all of this positive feedback, and now comes the UltraX, and it really does feel like it makes sense now, since you were able to produce CarbonyX in-house. The UltraX was able to be a really more logical evolution of the CarbonyX. And I know Eva had shared with me a nice, simple description of the UltraX as the CarbonyX on steroids,
Yes.
which is a very good way of I think expressing this idea that people liked what they had, and they're giving you feedback. What was the feedback on CarbonyX, and how did that lead to the changes that happened with the UltraX?
The best feedback actually that we received for CarbonyX, that was really in the early beginning of the CarbonyX, was from the friend of Steve, Gavin Conti. He was the man which developed the wheels. Actually,
Yes.
It's really a skateboard geek, like he had all skateboards and like hundreds of boards and wheels and everything.
But it was actually our very first American customer. So yes. I was like really, shaking, like, oh, we got a customer from US. Let's see how he thinks about our words and what he said. And he wrote me like one sentence: "I got a problem, guys." And I was like, oh my God, what happened? I was totally nervous. But he wrote
like, I have a problem. I ride your board, and all my other boards feel like that piece of wood. So I will sell the whole collection and just buy boards from you. And that's what he did. And it was, this feedback was so important, especially for me, because I was already riding those boards, and I knew, okay, it's something. But it's still, I'm the creator. You can always, like, you cannot be sure. And to hear something like that from him, and then he just told about us, Steve, and Steve tried it, and then just it started to.
But Steve was an ordinary. He was like a usual customer too in the beginning. I had no idea that Steve is Steve. Right? So I didn't do anything special, like try our boards or something. He just asked for a board, and I sent him one, and then we woke up one day and had like 120 emails, and we didn't know what happened, but that was Steve's review, right?
Yes.
Wow.
That's for us. And I think I was like in 8th month pregnant with the 3rd boy, and we were actually quite like on the edge in that time. Like, can we keep the brand? Can we, should we go work somewhere else, just like normal people do? Or shall we, trust the Soulboardiy and do this? But with the help of Steve, we just, it shoots like crazy. And we are really, thankful every day that this happened, because... Yeah.
And it was the beginning. It was the first feedback of the CarbonyX, and then to the steps to the UltraX.
They both have revolutions.
Yeah, at the beginning,
and then
Anyway, the UltraX. Good to know. It was not like meant to be from the beginning that we changed the construction and we developed the CarbonyX was like booming. It was perfect actually, and but somehow I don't think that it's that something is good enough and you cannot make it better.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to go further. I just wanted to make it lighter and faster and then more durable and everything. And then came a point where the war in Ukraine started, and we get the most of our wood here from this side, from the Russian and Belarus, and from this side, and the import just stopped. The prices were like double so high, and no fresh wood is coming, and it's also like we were not so happy to buy wood from there anymore. So it was like more reasons for it, and I wanted to find a replacement. I wanted to find something. How can we continue, and if possible, make it even better. And then accidentally, I just came across a possibility to buy some bamboo sheets from some company, longboard company, in the Poland that was not working anymore, and we just get the bamboo. And again, the same story. I had to figure out how to build a board without the classic glass fiber top and bottom, and we already have experience with the CarbonyX. So we started to experimenting with the whole construction and put like double as much carbon inside and create those bumpers on nose and tail, and that's how it came to life. And then we found out it's even lighter and it's even faster, and it looks sexy. So
it really does. And those bumpers, then they seem to have a couple different features in a way. They're protective. They make the board less susceptible to dings as you maybe bang into things, but they're also functional. You can kind of get a bit of a lock in, especially on the tail with that nice little riser. So definitely a dual benefit to that. And that we haven't talked a lot about shaping because we've been talking mostly about the construction. You guys have several shapes, but the Atom, I think, is clearly kind of the best seller. And if you understand the Atom, you can understand other shapes. You can say, the Meta is a little more tapered. But the Atom is, in English, very ergonomical. It is, you stand on it. It's comfortable. It makes sense. You did a very subtle concave. It's not aggressive concave, but it's very subtle. And you did a convex tail, which is very subtle as well. But that little bit of, I don't know if we can see the tail angle quite very well there. Yeah, that's it. Very unique. That's not something you see. It's not something necessarily intuitive. How did you think about the kind of the shaping decisions behind the Atom?
The one part of the shaping is the outline shape, and it's just a kind of functional thinking. So I was not so impressed by the boards at that time. Like few years ago, the surf skating was much more about trucks. It was like trucks, surf skating, and the board is somewhere on top, and that somehow that's it. And the board should look like a surf to make it clear we are surfing and not skating. And so the shape that I was creating was just like a logical steps. I know where I put my feet. I know where I need space. I know what feels safe for me, and I just create a shape that has all these, like width and whatever where you know, it has like a board when you need board under the feet, and the slimmer waist. It was more. I like this kind of shape from the snowboard or the snow surf shaping. But then I figured out that actually it's a big part of the flex. I can use the width of the waist to adjust the flex and to play with those with the flex properties. So and then we sit on the computer and create the shape to make it like how do you say, like harmonically, like
harmonic,
like beautiful, like
elegant,
like there should be. We are sitting on the computer and making like a few millimeters different, and look at the picture and saying like no, I think until it's done.
Do you remember the angles that we tried to find there? Like we were measuring it on the computer, on the screen. If it's you know, to find the right position for knees and feet, I think it was.
Yes.
So it was a longitudinal section that we were trying to make as healthy as possible, and we didn't know what angle would work the best, because you know, if you surf skate for an hour, it doesn't really matter if you have, or maybe an hour is almost already too much, but in the beginning it doesn't really matter what the angles are and how your feet and knees are placed. But then after a while you can get hurt if it's too much, or if it's too, you know.
You can feel some kind of fatigue or some kind of sore muscles or something.
And for joints too. So we tried to find the right golden, you know, ratio for the human body. So it was the part of shaping too.
Yeah,
it was really, you know, because we both are like newcomers. You know, we don't have many experiences on this field. Now we have, but in the beginning it was really like we felt almost like. You know, it was a bit ridiculous because we were really measuring it on the screen and like asking each other if this is good, and then Draho would put some small, I don't know, like angled riser or something from paper, like, oh, maybe this is better, put a little bit more there, and yeah, I would add some more millimeters there, and on and on and on.
Yeah, that is another dimension of the shaping, like the whole 3D shape, the anatomic shape. Actually, that's also an inspiration from snowboarding. There is this technology, the canted footbed. You know, like you just slightly canted your feet, and it's a quite a old technology.
Snowboarding stuff.
And he just found the Googles today, so he's hyped about it. He just
very cool. Very cool.
So we found out these angled risers, you know, like patent or whatever, and we tried to build it incorporate it in the 3D shape, in the rocker shape, and to make it more healthy, to make it more like the all muscles and all the muscle chains work better together, and you can have like more natural stance, and at the end it was like we will see, and at the end it really worked.
Yeah, we got many feedbacks, even from older riders who gave up surf skating because the knees, you know, they hurt,
hips or whatever.
I'm too old and stuff, but then they could ride again because and they gave us this feedback like, I can ride again, and thank you very much, and I'm happy over the moon. So
that is something we're always really proud of, that we create something that you know can help you ride healthier, longer, better, or ride again because it doesn't hurt anymore. So that's something really special. I think most of the customers have no idea that something like this is working you know,
Actually
they just
helping
feel
them.
it feels right, or it feels
It
nature.
feels right under my feet.
It feels
like...
right under my feet. Actually,
That's
that's what they feel. But the whole technology, the whole biomechanical knowledge, most of them have no idea, but it's no problem for us. We know.
And we are really happy to get such feedback because, you know, like in the end of the day, as you say, it's nice if you get customers and they pay and you can live. But if someone tells you something like this, it really warms one's heart, right? That you helped someone, and that then this is something a bit deeper than than what we hoped for. So we are very can I say thankful again? Are we so thankful? Yeah, I'm glad that it works.
What's that process like? And this, I don't know. I can imagine the 3D design on the computer, and you say, you know, does this look right? Okay, let's try it. That's not hitting the print button, right? You need a large mold, top and bottom, that's going to be shaped exactly in that 3D model to press your veneers just to get a prototype. It is. Do you just?
Yeah, sorry.
What is that process as arduous and trial and error as it seems like it would be, or are there shortcuts that make it easy to just get it right the first time?
Not really. I think it's more struggle than it seems. There are really no shortcuts. It's like a we have to deal with so much frustration and failures and you know, like doubts and whatever, that it's hardly imaginable. That it was like few years were really crazy, and but at the end we found out, or for me, one thing is you have to find out the shape and create the model and create the mold and stuff like that. But in our case, we are not using veneers. It's like when you press veneers in the mold, they stay more or less, the board stay like, it's the same as the mold. Yes. But in our case, we are using like a high density cores, and those cores are not like a veneer. They are not soft. They are really, really hard. When you press like a bamboo or stuff like that, it's really hard. So it has something called springback. You just bend it in the form, but when you open the form, it just like springs back a bit. So it changes the shape. And,
my!
Board each, you know, you can have like a 1 millimeter different core, and the springback will be different in different directions. So it's more like I have to guess what will be the end shape at the end, and to create the mold to but I had this experience already, because at the early beginning stages, when I pressed the plywood, the simple DIY plywood boards, I create a press that was not like a full press top and bottom. It was like a press made out of different parts, when you can adjust those parts and create a different concave on different places, or different tail or whatever. So I played a lot with this press to get some, you know, like get some knowledge, get the right shape, like the right 3D shape. And to create the heavy 3D mold was the last step, actually. So it's always a little bit different. It's like when we use the same mold, it's also for the Revolution, for the CarbonyX, UltraX, and for all those boards, there are slightly differences in the shape at the end, because the springback is always a little bit different. But more or less, it worked like that. Now we have the new 3D mold, the Atlas board,
Yes,
also
yes.
the brand new.
I wanted
Yeah,
to ask. This is the Atlas.
yeah,
Definitely came out this spring. It's a little shorter than the Atom 34. It is. I know the general pitch is this is a more aggressive surf skate. It feels like this is designed for the riders that are maybe taking their board to the skate park. They're maybe
yeah.
taking it to pump tracks. Uh, so more focus on front and rear foot lock in. Down to two wheelbases. I think you have the 17 and the 18 built
Yes.
in on the Atlas. What else? Because it's subtle. It's very subtle. It's interesting how subtle the changes on the Soulboardiy are. Because you talk about an aggressive front pocket, but it's still subtle. It's
Yeah.
not a huge, uncomfortable thing that the
Yes.
front foot is stuck in. It's a very nice, still, subtle, relatively subtle concave here.
Yes, that's the difference. A lot of most of the writers, and I think also the board creators or brands are thinking more or less just about the concave. Like you make more aggressive or less aggressive concave, and that's what gives you the hold, the grip of the board. But actually, concave has much more function, and it's not always good to have more concave because it's not so comfortable. Your feet doesn't fit so nice in there,
Hmm.
and it makes the whole board like more unstable or whatever. So, but for us, we are working with a longitudinal rocker. So a big part of the pockets that we are creating is created with the rocker nose, with the rocker, the parabolic rocker under the front foot. So why parabolic? Because more wider you stand, more angle you should get, and more pocket you should have there.
Yeah.
So it's
We
not
get.
the concave itself. It's not the concave itself that makes your foot fit and stick to the board. It's
Yeah.
it's actually more the whole composition of the pocket than the concave. But most boards or most riders are just thinking about more concave, more
Hmm.
grip, but it's not really so simple.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So now, what's really interesting is I'm starting to understand the as you said, it's not easier than we think. It's harder than we think to develop these. And then just last week you mentioned I think it was last week or maybe before, but the ASTRA comes
Yeah,
out and different construction. It's the first time in a bit that it isn't the CarbonyX UltraX progression. It seems
yeah,
like it is a new mix of materials, maybe a couple other ideas coming together inside of a new shape. So I'm curious what, especially given how universally appreciated the CarbonyX is, how universal something like the UltraX construction is for the Atom. I understand there's an Atom 32 coming out in UltraX as well. So
yes,
you've got a broad swath of your riders relatively taken care of with the UltraX approach. You bring in the Atlas for the more aggressive riders who want that slightly smaller, slightly more
yes.
aggressive foot pattern. And then what leads to developing the Astra? What was the user you have in mind for that deck?
The Atlas board was created like no compromise for performance. That
Mm.
was like everything was as much high performance as it gets, and the high performance doesn't mean it's always the best. It's like a super sport car. It's beautiful on the racetrack, but when you go like shopping with the car and whatever, you will feel it's not the best car you can choose for the. So as we said, Atlas is not a board for everybody. It's just really like there is no compromise in the performance, and it's also a little bit less forgiving. It's less comfortable. It's less, you know. I wanted to create something that. Did have something from the original CarbonyX construction, because CarbonyX is super smooth. It's smooth, it's soft. It's also like less vibration coming through the board because it's a lot of wood there. There is a softer birch in the core, so the feel is really smooth, and I like extremely the feel. On the UltraX, there is much more performance, so there is a lot of much more carbon. There is this hard density bamboo, and there are all materials with also a high vibrational, you know, like you can feel it more. Yeah, there's more resonation there, but there are a lot of advantages. The UltraX, there is light and fast, and you know, you like this feeling of a super sport car, but it would be nice if this car can also, you know, like give you some more comfort and some forgiveness and stuff like that. So the new ASTRA and the whole new bamboos construction, we just take the best of all those worlds. We just take the soft birch core in the middle for the forgiveness and smoothness. We took the bamboo, the bamboo. You can see here in the cut.
Yes.
We just took the birch core in the middle, the bamboo on top and bottom. But we also have this X. We also have this CarbonyX, like on the CarbonyX inside. So there is everything put in one board, and we will come with more different shapes of it. But the first one was the ASTRA, because I was fascinated by the function and the performance of the Atlas, of the new 3D shape, and I wanted to build something with these features, but more, you know, like more smooth, more forgiving for lighter riders, or maybe for a little bit mellower riders. So that was the next step. ASTRA.
And also maybe for girls, right? Because
and also for girls, of course, because
women got better. So we need better legs.
We need also boards for girls. That's true, actually, because the Atlas is really you need a lot of power and a lot of dynamic to enjoy the full potential. And I wanted to have this potential and these features on the board with mellower nature. So we call the ASTRA is the smoother and mellower smaller sister of the Atlas, and that was the idea. And and this also the outline of the board. We have these pins on the side, but not the second one, and it's like a little bit smoother on the tail. It's over a little narrower, and 32 inch, but 3D, the same features as like the
Very
Atlas.
nice. What in the Atlas and the ASTRA? What is this? What is this function here? I understand the function here is you know, not only looks nice, but also giving that additional torsional flex right here.
Yeah.
What is this guy? I see is reinforced, aligned with the back
Yes.
folds.
As I said, the whole Atlas, there should be no compromise in performance. And actually, we were not so sure if this looked nice. We were really not sure if this shape, especially Eva was not sure if this shape makes sense.
I called it violin.
You know, like violin and whatever, and all those.
Because I'm drawing the technical.
Yes.
And he told me, and make it more and more wider, and I was like, But then we found the kind of middle.
And all those pins. I have this idea. I had this idea for more than a year, because I saw a lot of extreme riding with the riders have a foot on the edge of the board, you know, like all those power snaps and bird slides and stuff like that. There was a lot of riding with the foot on the edge of the board, and for me it was like it should grip. There should be something to hold your foot in the on the edge of the board.
Ah.
And this is a big part of the features of the Atlas features is the edge. First of all, I knew there is a lot of grip you can achieve with those pins on the side. You can stick your feet.
Yes.
And, yes, there, and it will give you additional hold.
Ah.
And also we decided to keep the edges more like sharp and not round the edges fully. And then we also have this like ripped edge on the side to give the board as much grip and sharp grip as possible on the edge. So but as I said, there was a lot of doubts. I was waiting maybe 6-7 months until I just decided, okay, just go with the idea. Just try to go with the idea with those pins on the side. And I'm still not sure if it looked good. It's like a crazy shape. I like those, you know, like those nice lines and everything. So it was a big it was a big risk actually. First of all, we thought the board is not it's more ugly than nice, but then it somehow we figured out how to make it, you know.
But you remember in the very beginning, even the Revolution boards were kind of like said not to be right.
Yes.
You know, because the conventional shape is not what we do, right? So I remember that even Steve in the very first video in the beginning, he was talking about it like you may not see the typical shape, but it's functional, and then he describes all the things there. And now and then, as I said, it was in the beginning. It's not now, but there were people like, "Oh, this is not like what surfskate should look like." You know, it's not right. But maybe now we can be a bit more, like, let's say, cheeky and you know, do something.
Now it's right. At the beginning, everything.
We had to be careful.
At the beginning, it was not right, but after a few years, it is the right shape for the surfskate board. But we still continue to doing things that are not right, and I think it will stay like this.
I should have known. It's funny because I saw it at first and I thought maybe aesthetic, because it does speak to the aggressiveness. It has you know, you say violin, it has a, you know, almost even a little, it's an aggressive shape. It's very unique. And then I thought, well, it must just be influencing how much flex is occurring at that point in the board, but I just hadn't thought about it as, you know, basically sideways concave for that aggressive, you know, offset foot. It makes so much sense.
It's really the edge. It's really we wanted to make a fully functional edge for the most extreme positions and situations. It's very less things we are using just for the optic. Actually, we just follow really strict the functional part, and then the optic is more like we just like make
false function.
Yes.
Now, speaking of optics, the you know, I don't know if people know this, but every single Soulboardiy deck is truly one of a kind, and they have, you know, just you've chosen so carefully and thoughtfully the top and bottom veneers will always, if you do have a wood grain style, it's going to be amazing wood grain. The shape will always be, you know, different visually. And then you have the opportunity for one of a kind artwork on every deck, potentially for the art series. I can't think of any other any other company out there even thinking of giving you one of a kind artwork with every deck. You have a huge variety. Your style is completely unique, very playful, and I've seen some of the Instagram videos where you've shared that experience of applying the
Yeah.
artwork and painting the individual decks, and they're really cool. The time lapse sessions from above,
Yeah. Yeah.
filming the table where you're working. And I've noted in the comments you were talking about how this has been even a therapeutic experience for you. Are you an artist? Do you consider yourself an artist? Is this something you've done for a while and now this is your canvas? Or have you sort of just figured out that you happen to be good at you happen to also be good at this?
You should have heard him when he started with this technique. He was,
Yeah, it was not good.
it was nasty.
Yeah, that was nasty.
This doesn't work.
Oh.
No, actually, the point is, we never had, like money or possibility to do it right again. So we didn't have the money for some technology to make designs like the others do. So we have to figure out another way.
Actually, prior to Revolution series, there was a very first series which was called Original, and it was from that. It was not mold. How did you call it? From the press.
From the
homemade press.
Yes.
Where we could adjust all the parts, and it was birch and no epoxy.
It was just a
bracing.
plain wood boards that came out of the press.
So when a customer would ask for a board, we would ask, what would you like to have on the board? And then I would paint or hand burn some design. And it was the beginning of the art in Soulboardiy, but then Draho came in and he's much faster. So he needed to make it work easier than this. And we found out about the alcohol ink,
Yes.
which our friend made in that time. And she showed us how to do that, and we learned it.
And then I developed my own style and how to do it. And it's actually true. Each design is a one of a kind piece, and that it's made on the plastic sheet, and it's used for the transfer direct when we press the board. So it's not like we are doing boards and then afterwards the graphics on it. It's everything what we do. Also the coloring of the veneers is a special process. Everything is done before, and it's one shot with the pressing. So there is no possibility to repair it, no possibility to send it or whatever. It's just a one shot, and everything has to be right. And and with the designs, I have this small garden house where it all started in our garden, and there's kind of atelier, like a workshop,
studio,
like a studio, and it's also a place where I can run away from whatever
From us.
from the kids, and I can hide myself there for a while. And I started to play with those designs, and the point is those designs are absolutely unpredictable. So I have no idea what will happen. I just can mix the colors. I have some experiences. I mix some pigments and metallic stuff and fluorescent stuff and all the things together. But how they react and what will come at the end, it's really unpredictable. And I like the process as much as it suits my
Nature.
my nature somehow.
Yes.
I don't have to do kind of detailed work. I don't have to be many hours with the designs. Sometimes I am many hours, but the process is quite fast. It's quite fast and fast drying, and
Yeah, it dries out very fast, so it has to be fast.
so it's like a fascinating process for me, and kind of therapy, because when we create the boards, everything on the board should be perfect. Each part, a lot of details, and it should, everything should be on point. And with those designs, I'm kind of free. I can let it go, and I can watch the whole process, how those colors are mixing together, and how they react.
None of them is wrong, right?
And kind of none of them is wrong.
Very
Yes,
true.
not every design will make it to the onto the board, but I'm kind of free, so it is like an opposite of what we are doing with the boards and with all this technology we are putting in the boards.
Then it's actually very important for the brand as well, because if someone orders a board and he is searching through the designs, with yourself when you are ordering,
Yes.
it's always like some of the boards you don't even see them, kind of, right? Because they are not interesting for you. But then someone can. Now and then there are days when I see like, oh, this board will left us and will leave us, and then a customer writes in like an hour and asks for this particular board, and you see how many there are. so I love this part, because it's really the soul in Soulboardiy for me, because everyone, I hope everyone can find his or her board that he or she really likes.
Wow.
And that is also as you said, the soul of the board. Maybe it's not the most easiest or best recipe for doing a lot of boards, to do each board like individually, and this is so much work with it, and so many steps and stuff like that. But when you get the board from us, it's kind of tangible. You can feel there is something there. It has kind of soul, or there is a lot of energy, and then it to put energy in something, you have to spend time with it. You have to, the energy will come from somewhere. So it will come from us and the board, but you cannot transfer any kind of energy into the board when you have less contact with the board. When you are doing like in a factory board, there is not really a contact with the board. There is not a love story with each board. So it's more like a clone, like there are clones, those boards, and there is a lot of maybe good quality, and they are all the same and whatever. But in this case, we are putting a lot of energy, a lot of time, a lot of everything into those boards. And when those boards are done, they are coming into our house, and they are here, and the kids are here. So and sometimes they take the board, or there is a lot of contact from the whole family with those boards. They are still in contact with us, and I think somehow you can feel it. You can feel that this board is loaded with something. Yes. So at least we believe that it's like that, and we get the feedback.
Yeah, and Draho allowed our middle son actually to draw some of the arts. Yeah. And he made some dinosaurs.
Yes. I was gonna say, I remember the dinosaurs.
That's his topic. So I like that too, because it's quite cheeky too for me.
Yes. I think you described the process of painting as yet another soulboarding experience for you. It is you are putting the blinders on, you're giving some trust to something, and you're going for it, you're going with it, you're letting it ride, and then that becomes just another part of the product. It's just a really, really amazing story. I do want to just be grateful to both of you, not only for taking the time to to talk with me today, but really for everything you've done for the community. I think it's a huge thing to have somebody take this piece of the puzzle and put the level of passion, put the level of technology, commitment. You guys have stuck with it. I'm sure, it sounds like there's been a lot of ups and downs throughout, but you've stuck with it. You've made a real difference in a lot of people's lives with a really cool and amazing product. So on behalf of all those customers and riders, thank you guys so much, and please keep up the great work. It's very much appreciated all over the world.
Thank you very much. Nice to hear something like that.
Oh, well, and you're gonna have to get to work on some more ASTRAs because we need to place an order.
We are ready. We are ready. Yes, we have everything you need, so just go on.
Very good, very good. Well, thank you both so much. I very much appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bryan. So
very nice to see you in person, and happy to make such a nice chat with you.